some cruise my keys. You spoke one for days. Come on for the body, no the breathe. Put on your shoe, make it stand that this. All your sorrow, make it dance them free. If you know be kalala, kalala, yeah. If you know be kalala, get it never. Mama jogo, ijogo, ijogo, what you want, my jojo, ijogo, money, my jogo, and if you know be kalala, get it never. Odupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, joy is coming. Dupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, only early in the morning. Dupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, joy is coming. Dupa, Olua, yeah. Joy is coming, only early in the morning.
Very early, very late, very afternoon-wise, joy will always come. Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Africans in Diaspora on Premier FM 93.5. Stephen Agbaje is my name, and you know how we do it every Thursday afternoon. And I'll say Happy New Month to all esteemed fans of this program. We go in search of sons and daughters of the land far away, other continents that are making our race proud. And today, it's not going to be different as we bring a very, very, very strong academia, someone that is knowledgeable, that has his hands in animation, music, academia, creativity, education. In fact, he is a PhD holder. Our guest on the show today is an internationally experienced educator, researcher, creative practitioner, musician, and academic leader whose career spans the United Kingdom, United States, Australia, Africa, and Southeast Asia. With more than 3 decades of professional experience across higher education, creative industries, media production, and cultural research, he operates at the intersection of animation, music, academia, and what have you. So today we are in for a good time. So join me to welcome Dr. Charles Stash, the coaster, who is our guest on the program for today. So, hello, Dr. Charles. You're welcome to Africans in Diaspora.
Thanks again.
Good. Let's start from where you are presently, because you cut across the UK, Australia, VAT, all over the world. Where are you right now?
I'm actually in Australia right now.
Oh, good. So how did it all start? How did you find yourself where you are today? Let's go through memory lane.
Okay, so that kind of goes back a bit.
Good. We'll make it brief.
I was born in Ghana, And,
in Ghana.
I was born in Ghana. Yeah, that's where I grew up. And then I went to the UK at some point to art college. And then I lived there for 17 years. And then after that, I moved to the United States. From the United States, and I got offered a position here to start an animation program in the university. So I came to.
Okay. Your PhD from Brighton UCA examined racial stereotyping in contemporary British animation. What was the most surprising finding that led to your book, Framing Invisibility?
Invisibility. Okay, so the thing about my thesis, I'm an animator, first of all, so I'm a practitioner first.
Okay.
And then a theoretician.
Okay.
What led to that was, I remember once I was playing, it was a computer game, I was playing a computer game. Actually, I went into a store, right? And they had one of those machines, computer game things that, so while you're waiting, you can just play. And what happened was, I walked to the machine and I saw people playing it and they were losing money, So I just watched them for a while And then I went and I played, and immediately the money came out, and I took it. And then I stood back, and then other people played again. Because when I went and Dev got it looked easy. So they went, they played, they tried, they couldn't get anything. I went in the game, pulled the handle, and I got money. And what was happening there was, you see, I had a master's in computer animation, and I understood patterns that they didn't understand in game design. So I basically took the money from that machine, stood there, took the money, and used it to pay for what I was buying for the store.
Okay.
So on my way home, I was quite happy with myself. So, oh wow, look at them, they're not smart enough. So then I just realized that the flip side, if you look at the flip side, I literally kind of, in inverted commas, buried all the place. You understand? Because I had knowledge they didn't have, and used it to their disadvantage. And then I began to think further. I was like, actually, I'm the black guy here. Suddenly I've played a role that could be bad. But because they're used to seeing stereotypes of black people who are bad all around them. So that started the thought in my mind, and eventually led to me beginning to investigate how blacks were conveyed in animation. And you know, later it would lead to a doctorate, but it started long before that. But it was basically that was the seed of the whole thing. My intellectual journey began with that particular game.
That's great. So if I have it right, you've taught animation, history, theory, and production across SCAD and QUT, Swinburne, Westminster, Kingston. How does teaching animation differ between the UK, US, Australia, and Southeast Asia? Is there any difference?
First of all, I see animation is the art of impossible worlds. Okay? And because of the art of impossible worlds, it allows flowers to move from butterfly to butterfly. Notice I'm not saying moving from flower to flower. To do impossible things. But nobody or no country or no nation has invested in animation as much as the US has done. They have invested a lot in it. Therefore, it's deeply connected to practice and industry. So, and that's a bit different from the UK. In the UK, animation is first. And so, for instance, when animation schools were started in the UK, they often started in the art departments of universities or colleges. And sometimes they started off, some of them even started the animation program in the computer science department, which is flawed, but that's another story for another day. In the United States, we started off first looking for places where they could bring industry practitioners to train their people. You understand? So they were training for the industry. Now, in places like Australia has looked left, has looked right, and realized that animation is a booming industry and it's something they can do. So they've started doing it as well. Well, they've been doing it for a while now. So their teaching borrows methods from the United States and borrows heavily from the UK as well. But in Australia, the training time is shorter. And animators don't have a lot of time to do as much animation as they can because they're always in the periphery, sort of, you know. So it's interesting. And of course, with the Asians, they're very production based, so they train or learn their craft so that they can undercut other industries. So for instance, you know The Simpsons. Most of the work for The Simpsons is done. Most of the work for The Simpsons is done in South Korea. So the Koreans are really good artists, do brilliant storyboarding, do so much, stuff like that. They industrialized it so well. So again, approaches are different, and so teaching methods run in tandem with the approaches that are acquired in this country.
Wow, that's quite interesting. But you are a man of many parts, Dr. Charles. Dr. Charles, um, we're still on Africans in diaspora, and our guest today is Dr. Charles Starch, all the way from Australia, and we just explained the differences between you know. Teaching animation in the UK, in different countries, and the likes. And he's also a music buff. And to music we go now, as I'd like to pick you up on one or two things. How did you come into music, Dr. Charles?
Well, music is the air I breathe. My mom was a classically trained pianist. So obviously she played the piano, she played the violin, she played the flute. She also had in oral, what do you call it? Basically, she could sing.
Okay.
She took a certificate in it, so she sang like a concert singer or like an operatic singing. So she had training in that and in child psychology as well. She always had instruments around the house.
Oh.
She always had things around her. So we're kind of aware of the instruments that she plays. So as a child psychologist, she plays the instruments freely around, and so as a result of that, I would gravitate towards them and pick them up. So that's how it kind of began, really. You know, they see charity begins at home, so it kind of started at home. Yeah, that was how it. That's how it all began. You know?
That's great. Well, your music blends classic roots reggae with contemporary themes of social justice and spirituality. How do you keep the roots tradition alive without sounding dated?
Because I'm also, I have a huge collection of reggae. I mean, I remember that at one point my collection of reggae songs stood at about 45,000. At one point it stood at about 45,000, you know, and basically I don't just listen to the music, but I study the music. And when I started to play music, I mean, I started with what happened was I would hear stuff on radio and I played almost instantly, just jump to the piano or whatever I played. And my mom would say, okay, they use these chords, they use these chords. Say stuff like, gosh, they use lots of minor chords all the time. Okay, make it a minor 7. So what's a minor 7? She said, add this note here, and it'll give you a slightly different flavor. And she says stuff like that. So I'll try it out, and it sounds good, or sounds a bit better than it was sounding previously. So it was basically like you're putting a glue and they tell you what spice to add. You know, that makes it better.
Okay.
So I did, but the point is, she reminded me that music has, you know, every song has to have a story and it has to have a cultural base.
Yeah.
Because without the story and the cultural base, you can't have a good context for fabricating the sounds that make the music work. You understand? Yeah. So for me, I read the news all the time. I read about different nations all the time. I love languages, so many things. So what I do is I pay attention to how people do what they do. I learn from it, and then I adapt it. You know, to on a different creative platform. Yeah.
That's great. But let's take it a step further. You are both a spoken word artist and bassist. Which comes first for you, the rhythm or the message?
See, the point is, as Malcolm X once said, he said the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And often what happens is we compartmentalize things. Like, okay, this is this, so it will work that way, what's this way, that way. You know, trend of thought is actually, trend of thought doesn't make sense. It doesn't respect time. It comes anywhere, in any place. Likewise, an idea might come, and the idea might sound like a whistle, so I'll put the idea in a whistle and work the melody from there. Sometimes the idea will come as a set of words or like a poem of, to come in a poetic format. And what happens is that poetic strain that flows. What happens is once it comes and I start to recite it, I start to hear the rhythm of it, I start to hear the bass notations in it. So, for instance, if I go like, there's one that I just wrote not long ago. It's called Existences. Some people just love to exist, and others think that not to live big, but between the ordinary guy and the one who is this by is the quiet one, and slowly bend down. So I can get so the words give me a meter. You understand? So it does that for some. And other times it's just the bass line that comes, and then I wet the bass line, I'll play, and then I start to cook from the bass line. Yeah. So
good.
But the bass is not my only instrument.
Yeah.
I play guitar.
Okay.
Keyboard.
Wow.
I play percussion and harmonica.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then it's safe to say you're multi-talented. And I want our listener right now to have a feel of what we've been talking about as one of your facets in music. And that's why I want to bring one of your albums, one of your songs, 23 Degrees North, 27 Degrees South. We'll take a break now to play this music for our listener so that they can better understand who our guest is on Africans in Diaspora on Premier FM 93.5, Radio Nigeria, Ibadan. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Premier FM 93.5.
Way down in Africa, beneath the Tropic of Capricorn, 23 degrees, 27 south. Trouble is a bubbling, steaming and brewing, and I'm not a joking. Ponder. Can a woman forget her child who is sucking? Am I just asking so much so would lose compassion? It's a humble question. On the fruit from within her womb, condemning them to the catacombs. I mean a tomb, perhaps just maybe, doubt they would. Do you think that they could bear that heavy load? The horror drama that unfold. Way down in a land, beneath Tropic of Capricorn, 23 degrees, 27 south. Trouble is a bubbling, steaming and brewing, and I'm not a joking. Mama, oh Africa, your child's got a fracture. Mama, oh Africa, the unfolding drama. Mama, oh Africa, imagine the trauma. Mama, oh Africa, that kettle of them vulture. Mama, oh Africa, hope we destroy our culture. Mama, oh Africa, mustn't feed the predator. Mama, oh Africa, give no license to a raptor. Mama, oh Africa, hold we firm, guide we after. Way down in a land, beneath Tropic of Capricorn, 23 degrees, 27 south. Trouble is a bubbling, steaming and brewing, and I'm not a joking. And as for the union, I don't know their opinion. They twiddle their thumbs, perhaps eating popcorn. What's going on and on? Inaction gives Babylon. Cause on those screens you watching, apartheid seeds are sprouting. So trouble keep bubbling, steaming and brewing, and I'm not a joking.
Mr. Charles, if you know how the atmosphere is right here in the studio of Premier 93.5, you would have a feel that you've done a good job. Wow. I've got my DCA piece of there. I've got the Igwe himself, the reggae master, Emeka Darlington, all vibing to this track. You can hear the salute, man. Really, they're giving you thumbs up, man. They're giving you thumbs up. And they said you can count on Radio Nigeria Premier FM for the wildest publicity ever. But we need to coast home now. You combining academic, animation, music, creativity, and education, which made you bring that amaze philosophy. How has it been able to, make you focus on all these 5 strong pillars?
Well, again, back to Malcolm X. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And, my mom said to me, that when I was a kid, she said to me that nobody is born a professional.
Yeah.
It's society that decides.
Decides and shapes.
Society that decides, or society kind of pigeonholes you and calls you or a doctor.
Okay.
Whatever, for a purpose. So often when people run their course as a medical doctor and they're retired because society says they're no longer useful, they find they've lost their way. It happens all the time. So you see somebody who a brilliant teacher, but actually they were actually a painter, they were dramatists, but they were told in society that they were a teacher. So they did just that. And at the end of their life, or coming to the end of their life, they just recognized that they didn't know what they were. They didn't find themselves. When they try to express themselves, people would say, "Oh, but you're a teacher. What are you doing here?" This is what I'm saying. So I was taught to cultivate all those bits. Now, I'll tell you what's remarkable. When I was growing up, there was no television in my home. My mom taught at the university in Ghana. My dad was a lawyer. But there was no TV in the house. And the idea is we have to read and we have to imagine. You understand? Because television, they recognized, just having exposure to television would make you a consumer of all ideas. So whenever we did watch a television, which was in somebody else's house, we noted the things that happened. You understand?
Yeah.
It became a tool. So it's no surprise that I went to film school at one point and majored it, because for me it's orientation. So when I went to film school, I majored in animation and graphics. But I learned cinematography, film directing, everything. I did all those things. But you see, that was about understanding the arts and bringing them to life. And filmmaking itself is about the sciences. I mean, I learned photography. I actually learned cinematography.
Wow.
And so I also learned film science. I learned how to process films. I knew the chemicals you had to use to do whatever you had to do. And all that, I learned all that kind of stuff. And going back to high school, I was a science student, but I was also an art student. I would often draw my notes as opposed to write them. So it made me remember better. So for me, it was just natural. Natural.
All right then. All right, let me take you back to the classroom. You've taught school-age learners through to doctoral candidates. What's one principle that stays the same no matter the level?
So what you have to teach people, the first thing is that you must, like when you see a seed, you don't know what the tree is going to look like.
Exactly.
You can have an idea of what the tree is going to look like. So when you see students coming, what you should see immediately is leaders, potential leaders. So one of the first things to do is to instill in people the fact that they're going to be leaders one day. They're going to be standing in your space.
Good.
And in programs.
Good.
And so that's the first thing you recognize. So you try to get them to understand that, at some point they're going to have responsibility if they need this. Therefore, it's important to get what they've got now.
Yeah.
So they can build on it. But even more important is the fact that they've got to always think of doing better than they thought they did.
Yeah.
Because if they're not going to do better, then they ought to do it somewhere else. Right?
Yeah.
And I encourage students to draw. one of the things I do is I encourage students, whether they're kindergarten kids or the doctoral students, I say to them, when you're listening to somebody speak, draw and sketch as much as possible, because those visuals will trigger your memory,
All right.
okay, to retain things that you never thought you could retain.
Great. Time is fast spent, Dr. Charles. I'm sure we'll still have you on another edition of this program. But as we coast home quickly, what's next for Dr. Da Costa? More books, more albums, or a new amazing initiative? Let us into your plans for the nearest future.
So, incidentally, Today happens to be the 2nd of July. I was supposed to have launched an album yesterday.
Oh.
All right? I was meant to have launched it, but that's been delayed because just last Tuesday, my younger brother passed away.
Condolences, bro.
But it's an album, and it's going to be called Kaleidoscope because it's going to show different sides of me. And it's got 14 tracks on it.
Oh.
It even has two types of Afrobeat songs on it. One is Afrobeat, like Fela style.
Wow.
The other one is Afrobeat, like the modern style.
Okay.
But it's 14 tracks. It's got roots reggae on it.
Okay.
It's got roots reggae on it. It's got harvest rock on it. It's got music that sounds like bed.
Good.
So you see all these music on it. And of course, there's spoken word on it. The song you've just heard actually isn't on the album because I only finished working on that 2 days ago.
Oh, that's lovely. But for our listeners to continue conversation with you, can you drop your social media handles?
No, I mean, I've actually put my my website down at the moment, but it's going to be www. and it's stashdacosta.com.
Stashdacosta.com. Yeah. That's
STACHE.com. Sorry, STACHE DACOSTA.
All right.
.com.
I'm sure this would be. Yes, I'm sure this conversation will definitely continue. My time is up. I'd like to thank you specially for featuring on this program this afternoon. And on behalf of the entire crew, wishing you well in your future endeavors. And once again, condolences on the loss of your younger brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Carry brother me. I would have asked you, is it Niger Jollof or Ghana Jollof?
Jollof is originally from Gambia and
you are taking us another level. Don't worry. When I host you again, we will explain that better. I got to go now, my brother. Enjoy the rest of the day, the night over there. Okay, that has been Dr. Da Costa all the way from Australia. He's been our guest. He's a man of many parts. I'm sure the producer will find time again for us to talk to him because a lot of people actually love what he does. I'd like to thank the facilitator, Jacinta Udubanjo, for facilitating today for us. Next week, we'll be back. Titi, thank you very much for your help. Shagun Gujabi remains the producer. And Igwe, thank you for stepping in. We'll leave on that beautiful track. Stephen Agbaje is my name. Bye for now.
Steal and destroy people and their heritage. They are extinctionists. Someone's working behind the scenes to disrupt Africa for a new takeover. And Africa.
Hey, just listening to Africans in Diaspora. Did you join us next week for another edition of the program? We're set to join our network studio for the network news.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
It's 4 o'clock. Thanks for joining us for the news on the network service of Radio Nigeria. I am David Umoru. The headlines. Federal government distributes over 1 million improved hybrid cocoa seedlings. Academic activities resumes in Oyo State after suspension of strike. Oba of Benin lays deadly curses on kidnappers.